So welcome to another session of Bard Talk, the program which tries to ask all the difficult questions. Tonight we have a special guest, the Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Chucky Collins. Welcome, please. Judith, how does it feel to be among poets?
I'd rather talk to a proper journalist, somebody that knows what they're doing.
Oh, well, give us a chance. I mean, we haven't been doing this for very long. Let me ask you a question straight away. American political strategist Lee Atwater set a campaign formula for his Republican candidates: belligerent rhetoric, personal smear campaigns, push polling, and dog whistling, all of which you've employed.
Don't be so silly.
It's the same creed espoused by National's long-time spin doctors Crosby and Textor, the same team that set up Boris Johnson as the Prime Minister of England.
Yeah. So what's your question?
But surely Crusher is just a Crosby-Textor invention. Aren't you simply just another tax lawyer helping your friends to avoid paying for schools and hospitals?
Oh, come on, Sam. I don't need a disguise to help me win anything. What you see is what you've got. And by the way, you forgot cats.
What cats?
Smear campaigns, push polling, and dead cats.
Sorry, 1 minute into this interview and you've already lost me, Judith.
Look, ask me a question, something tricky.
Okay, I will. Your husband, David, director of Aurovida Kauri, was once accused
Excuse
of taking
me,
native roles.
Carrie Roa.
Yeah, well, you can call it a fart Chanel number 5 if you want, but no one's going to buy it. Your husband's digging up precious wetlands so he can sell Kauri logs to China, contrary to a Supreme Court ruling that these are Tonga, they're a national treasure. Nobody wants to see these... What the fuck was that?
Dead cat.
Christ, where did you get it?
I believe it was one of Jacinda's.
Oh, not Patton's.
She really doesn't dig deep enough.
But that's truly revolting. What are you trying to do?
Look, as soon as a question gets too close to the bone, we simply introduce a diversion.
But that's so trivial. What about wetlands? What about climate change, for God's sake?
The public's always going to be more interested in someone's cat than whether or not I give a fuck about climate change or a stinking swamp full of old trees.
Wetlands, Miss Collins.
Swamp, Mr. Mahon. Next question.
Okay. When your husband's not digging up old trees and arranging personal business meetings with the Chinese on the taxpayer dollar, he spends his time passing on hurtful memes about Jacinda on social media. You yourself refer to Jacinda as My Little Pony. Do you think the public wants a first family that fights like kindergarten trolls?
Next question.
We'll try this one. Jacinda has her portrait projected on the tallest building in the world. You have your face, on the other hand, tattooed to the thigh of Nick Given, a member of the Matamata Rust Belt, which has apparently an average IQ of a paper bag. How can you possibly see that as a win?
Well, simple. Jacinda was up there for 10 minutes. I'll be in that man's trousers for the rest of his life.
So, was that a joke? I didn't see your eyebrow move.
And listen, if that man dies suddenly, in a meth lab explosion or something, we'll stick his leg beside the giant squatting te papa. And you'll like this, it'll become a permanent work of art.
Oh, fuck me. 2 crushers lying side by side. Speaking of guns and violence, you and Kathy Hodges, with a little help from Cameron Slater, were caught cheerleading the demise of Nikki Hager. Do you remember that?
Rubbish, don't be ridiculous, that's absurd.
No. It was a great power meeting, Nelson, 28th of September, 8:35 p.m, question time. There were plenty of people there.
Oh, for goodness sake. Look, he's a journalist, he's a muckraker, we don't need them. What the public needs is well-informed newsreaders to conduct factual interviews. People like Mike Hosking, Duncan Garner, not fucking traitors like Julian Assange.
But surely, Judith, calling for the death of a journalist, for anybody's death, is hate speech. And from someone setting up to be Prime Minister.
Oh, for goodness sake, it's just ridiculous. Don't be so silly.
Don't be so silly. Don't be so silly.
I never wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a poet. I wanted to live in Paris in a garret, spend my evenings in Rue Saint-Michel, smoking black Russian cigarettes with Joni Mitchell, drinking awful coffee, and writing long meandering poems on paper serviettes and then floating them down the Seine. But I was too inquisitive. I should have listened to John Campbell when he said, let her talk, let her interrupt, and then afterwards you'll still be in one piece instead of two. Oh well.